Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so for people signing on, today, welcome to Community Yoga Narada. We're going to do a nice beginning warm-up today. So I do this class every Wednesday at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Today is the first Wednesday we're doing this in October. The whole month of October, we're going to use a chair or a stool, preferably a stool probably. You just want to have something that gives you a little bit of space. Maybe arms on your chair would be a little bit in your way, but if you have to, go ahead and use that. A little bench or a musical bench or something like that also works really great. So we're going to come around and have a seat in your chair or stool, whatever you've kind of figured out. Let me just adjust one of my cameras here. Okay. So we're going to basically go over what we've been doing on the floor and just kind of try and relate it into sitting into the stool here. So we want to start off with just finding a nice sense of alignment. So we're going to locate our sitting bones in your seat. And if you need a cushion to sit on or anything like that, you can use that. You want to make sure, depending on what's going on in the body, that you're high enough in your seat to relax through your legs. So sometimes your seat needs to be a little bit higher than your knees, especially if you're having a lot of tightness in your hips or your back or your hamstrings. Some people might feel better sitting lower. So play around with the height of your seat and try to find a nice comfortable position. So we're finding our sits bones. We're going to bring our feet a little bit more forward to relax on the floor. We're bringing our feet forward so that we're not using our legs to stabilize our spinal posture so much, right? So they're a part of it, but there's a nice soft crease into the front of your hips here. We're going to relax through the soles of the feet. So just take a moment and relax your hands on top of your thighs here. Try to feel a sense of release in your breath. Your breath is dropping down and releasing into the base of the spine, into the base of the pelvis. And you're kind of falling into your spinal posture here. We're creating this plumb line through the bone alignment, through the joints of the spine. So we feel the sits bones a little bit more prominently. Start to notice if they feel a little bit off. Maybe one side doesn't have as much weight as the other side. And you can kind of shift your body around a little bit to ease into that release through both sitting bones. And then we're going to access a feeling of length and release through the tail end of the spine. So from your lower back, your lumbar spine, all the way down through the tail of your spine, going through your tailbone into your coccyx bone. So I'm thinking when I say tail, I'm thinking of that as one long piece. The tail starts kind of in our lower back for me when I give that cue. So just close your eyes very gently, relax, or just relaxing your eyes softly, letting the breath drop down into the base of your spine, into the base of your pelvis. Start to bring your breath into a deeper, more relaxed, more focused internally into yourself, trying to relax through the shoulders, the scapula, trying to notice if you're holding them and just letting them go. Feel that your shoulder blades draw down towards your sits bones. So we're just releasing into that plumb line alignment and also letting your jaw and chin adjust in and back in towards the spine. You might feel that your body shifts a little bit back, or maybe you shift a little bit forward. So you're finding a nice, easy, erect, but plumb-lined posture. Very sufficient way to find the most effective posture that you can find here. We're going to let go of any external thoughts or tensions, bringing our focus inside. So we're starting with the breath. We're observing our own breath, letting our breath release and elongate, kind of like before you fall asleep when you lie down at the end of your day. And using that kind of breath as your impetus, we're going to gently open the eyes, take your palms together, and feel the breath draw up into your hands. We're going to glide forward and back. Feel that your breath from inside the pelvis draws up into the surface of your hands, feeling that sense of expansion, relaxing in the fingers, gliding in between the fingers here, and drawing a sense of energy, heat, however you want to equate that, up through the palms. We're going to separate the hands, feeling that energy between the palms. And now we're just doing kind of like a nice yawning. We're breathing, pushing and swirling that energy into the space you have around you. So feel a connection from your breath to just move and breathe and yawn through your body. This is very soft and gentle. We're just breathing and getting into all those little crevices. You don't have to change anything. You just want to let the body release and open, and your breath gives you a sense of support from the inside to release externally towards the surface of the body. And we're starting to build a sense of awareness and connection to move from inside. Start to feel that you expand in all directions, feeling that you can encompass the space up above, down below, around the sides, behind you. And then we're going to reach out through the palms, gathering that energy from the space around. And we're going to draw it, sensing it over our eyes and face. So just breathe and wash over your face, around your eyes. Try to relax through the face as you wash over, feeling a nice sense of calm and release flush through your face. Using your middle fingers, we're going to just massage and exhale above on the brow bone from the inside to the outside with a nice little lift up. So we're going to breathe out, relax the face, let it sweep open, feeling that sense of release and calmness by opening. And then index fingers, we're going to exhale, sweeping underneath the eyes, right again on the bone, on your orbital bones here. There's a nice little upward sweep. We're going to exhale, relaxing the face as you do this to let it open. Try not to add any extra tension. And then fingertips, just taking a nice exhale, scrubbing up and down on the forehead, moving the skin around, flushing things underneath the skin there. And then coming around to the outside of the eyes, the temples, very light circular massage, just kind of moving the skin surface around a little. And then continue relaxing your jaw. You're going to take your fingertips and massage right in between the upper and lower jaw. So you can poke a little bit more into this tissue, right? So we can palpate here to release and expand and just feel a sense of letting go. Maybe you didn't realize there's a lot of tension holding on in there. There usually is in our jaw. And now we're going to come up around the tops of the ears, just getting a nice little scrubbing, lifting motion, massaging and lifting and releasing any tension or tightness around the ears. So we're working around the backs of the ears, getting a nice little lift up until we've reached the back of the head. So around the backs of the ears where the head and the neck meet, we're giving a nice little, it's like you're lifting up through that back end of your head here and just releasing any tension there. And then we're going to come into that crease. So if you just move your head a little bit, or maybe you can find it really easily, we're going to massage side to side laterally. So we're just breathing into that. Feel that your breath travels through your hands, massaging and feeling that we just kind of expand and release and open that space in the occipital, the very, very top of the spine where the head and the spine meet. It's actually underneath inside, but we're going to just kind of free up around that. We're opening out to the sides a little bit. So go a little bit wider towards your ears. And then we'll come back in close to the spine. Now we're going to take a nice circular massage along the sides of the spine, into those muscles there, the erectors. We're going to breathe and massage and try and kind of soften things up. Notice what your body feels like. Maybe one side feels tighter, and just try to breathe into it and let go. Work all the way down the back of the neck until you've reached the tops of the shoulders. Now we're going to take our fingertips and dig over top. Take a nice long exhale, sweeping over and just sweeping and letting go, shaking off any tension or tightness. And then going back, we're going to take a nice exhale. Let it go. And again. And releasing the shoulders, relaxing and sweeping. And releasing any tension and tightness off. Now we want to feel the breath from the base of the spine lift us up. So this is our midline, right? So along the spine, we have that midline of the body, and we're going to breathe through that line. I always say you can imagine it having a color or a vibrancy that feels more alive. So breathe through that line to lift. We're interlacing the fingers and lifting the arms up. If your shoulders feel really tight and your arms can't go without causing tension, try to feel this energy lifting you up and let your arms just be a release at the top. So we want to breathe up from the base to float high through the top. And then we're just going to take a nice little wiggle, very, very subtle here, just kind of swaying and releasing. Feel that you let go of a little bit more tension in the hips and the low back. And then we're going to come back to center. Keep your hands like this. Relax your tail and just let your arms drape down. So the arms are relaxed and we have this nice little cradling here. Now we're moving from our shoulder blades. Try not to think of the top of your shoulders. And we're breathing through our chest cavity to move our arms. So we're going to sweep the arms around, finding your elbow. Breathe through the side of the ribs. So feeling that you're expanding. Now at the top, your arms are nice and relaxed, and you're going to let your shoulder blades glide on the back of your body to move your arms to go over to the other side then. Exhale. Your tail sweeps under to sweep your arms down and around. So we're just going to go continuously. Inhale up and through the side over. Exhale and relaxing forward. Relax your head and shoulders as you come down. We're going to take a deep breath in. Feel that you're expanding through the sides of the ribs. Exhale over and sweeping forward, around. Inhale, expanding through the side ribs up and over. Exhale, relaxing forward, around and down. We're going to let the breath come in as we come up through the top. Take a new breath and change your direction. Exhale. Relax the tail sweeping under. Inhale through the side ribs and up, feeling nice and wide through the chest. Exhale and releasing the tail under. Inhale, feeling that you're breathing in between the ribs and up. Again, exhale over and sweeping under. Inhale, feel the side ribs expand and up. Now we're going to find that midline breath, lifting us up to reach the arms up nice and tall again. Feeling that you lift up out of your seat. We're going to separate the hands and just breathe through the palms circling. Feel that lift internally through the midline as you circle through the hands and wrists, breathing, and then eventually just letting that nice little hanging V come through. Let your arms drape from the center of your chest and then relax. So now we're going to bring our feet. I'm going to turn a little bit side so you can see me differently. I'm bringing my feet even a little bit more forward. We're going to, just like when we're seated on the floor, we're going to round our tail under. We're using our fists. Now we're breathing through the palms. We're drumming on the sacrum, getting a nice release. Use your hands to release and bounce off your body. Go right on top of your tailbone, your sacroiliac, and then go all around it, getting into the perimeter and really get into your glutes back there. So especially that one's high up and then maybe going down a little bit. And if you can, drum up the sides of the spine towards your ribs and back down again. Now from here, we're going to take our fists and just drop into the back sides of the hips. So we're on the side, but we're a little bit more towards the back. And we're just letting our hands bounce off. We want to relax the muscles there. These are our greater trochanters. So this is where our hip joint gets a lot of engagement, right? So in any direction. Now we're going to go from one side to the other. So we're sweeping a little bit more from the back of the hip and just letting that fluffy motion release. We're sending any tension or tightness down through the legs, out through the toes. And then we're going to come around, opening the palms. Now, using your heels of your hands here, go around the sides of the legs, getting a nice fluffy motion. And we're just scooping and lifting up around the sides, right down the side legs where your IT bands are, and relaxing all the muscles as much as you can. So we want to get a really good shake and release off the bone, letting go of any surface tension, any superficial tension, but also kind of waking up deeper inside, right? And then we're going to come down. Let's come around into the tops of the thighs here. Since we're seated, we're going to flush from the hips down to the knees. Now I'm using the heels of my hands, getting a really good massage. Follow the shape of your legs. So going a little bit on the inside, really digging into this tissue. We're going in a downward motion. We're following our circulation pathway. So from the heart, away from the heart. And now if you can lean over, relaxing over, use your hands and just go along the outsides of your shins here. We're just kind of fluffing up and releasing along the outsides of the shins. And then we're going to take one foot up, resting and relaxing the foot, and go on either side of your calves here, just kind of dropping from either side. There's a little bit of a shake there. There's a little bit of a release. See if you're holding tension. Try to let that go a little bit. And then we're going to bring that foot down, changing to the other side, nice and soft, and just patting from either side here, getting a nice release there. And then we're going to bring this foot back down. And now from here, let's go for the inner thighs. We're going to just bring the feet out a little bit. Use the tops of your hands and just go down from this inner thigh area. We're flushing down away from the hip sockets. If you can sit towards the edge of your seat, that's probably a little bit better. The adductors, right? So this whole line, even thinking of just waking up this area is good. And then we're going to come back through center, and we're just going to find that nice release down through the tail, gathering the breath from the pelvis. So we're going to inhale, feel that the breath brings you up, lifting up off of your seat a little bit. As we exhale, we're just going to let the arms go. If sitting when we're on the floor, it feels like less of a distance, but now we're going to gather again. Breath comes in. Feeling that lift up out of your seat, and exhale, release. One more time. Let the breath lead your arms. Breath brings you up. And release. Now we're going to shake it all out. The shoulders, the elbows, the wrists. Try to breathe through the back of the body here, releasing through the upper back, feeling that you're releasing through the shoulder blades, the elbows, especially the forearms, all the way down into our hands, getting a nice kind of fuzzy feeling all the way down, releasing into the hands here. And then we're going to just relax the arms, letting them hang. And we're going to take a nice little drop up and over the shoulder and release. We're going to exhale. Feel that you're patting breath and openness into your upper back, into your lungs, feeling that, you're becoming aware that your ribs and your lungs are all the way back up there, right? Right over the top back of your shoulder. Or maybe it's just releasing a little bit of tension on the tops of the shoulders. Try to use your breath to let go. and then relaxing. Now we're sort of backtracking a little bit. We're going to take a deep breath. Now we're going to take a nice flushing massage around the sides of the ribs. We're going to inhale and feel the whole chest cavity expand like a balloon into our hands. And exhale, release. And again, breath brings you up. And exhale, release. And then just relaxing the arms. You can relax your hands and widen your feet on top of your thighs. And let's hang one arm down and massage right into the front of the shoulder here. So we've released the top of the shoulders already. So it's a little bit different than what we usually do, but it feels kind of different. Maybe your head can relax over a little bit better because that's not so tense anymore. Just go around exploring, breathing into this, get a really nice flush through your lymph there. And then just relaxing to the other side and just finding a nice little spot to release and massage into, moving all around wherever you feel like you need to go there. And then we're going to come back through center. And then from here, we're just going to take our hands interlacing around the lower back side of your head. So it doesn't matter where your elbows are here. I mean, later on we can add that in. Feel the tail end of your spine drop down into the stool. We're dropping down through gravity through the tail of the spine. And we're feeling how does that affect through the head and the back of the neck. So it's kind of like we're standing against a wall. You want to breathe through the back of the body into that wall. And when we breathe into the wall, there's a sense of expanding wide. So we're breathing wide through the sides of the vertebrae. And that's giving all the muscular and connective tissue a chance to release in a different direction. So we're coming into alignment, breathing into that length. Let your jaw and chin relax. Breathe the back of your head into your palms so that you start to feel a sense of length from the tail through the crown. We're going to keep going with that and sweep the palms all the way up, around and down, using that elongated feeling coming out through the eyes. Now we're just going to feel the breath come from the pelvis and up, and exhale, scanning the room with the eyes. So we're just looking around the room, feeling a sense of internal connection through the midline as we look out. When you get to the side, take a new breath and scan around the other way. Just kind of looking around and breathing out. Taking a new breath and exhale, feeling that length through the back of the head and the neck, scanning around. And letting the breath in. And scanning one more time, feeling that openness and release through your vision, nice and soft here. Feeling that you don't have to work too hard, you're just letting it be open, letting it breathe. And then the breath brings you back through center. We're going to take a deep breath in from the low belly. Pull the breath up through your belly. As you inhale, we're going to hold the breath and close the eyes. Try not to tense your neck and your chest as you do that. Just feel down here lift. Just hold it a little bit and then take a nice long released exhale, gently opening the eyes, nice little blinking. And we're just going to take little sweeps around the eyes. You can blink and just find that nice openness around your face, getting any little extra cobwebs free. And then taking your fingertips to just kind of drum all around the skull, feeling that nice vibration into the head, into the bone, and then sweeping up through the back of the head. So just finding a sense of length here through the back of the head and neck one more time. And then from here, feeling that, if you feel comfortable, breathing through the back of the neck into that length. We're just going to spot side to side. We want to feel tall without tension. We want to drop the tail down to turn the head And just let it go a little bit. If it feels comfortable to release your jaw, and you can just kind of spot side to side. And gently slow it down. So you're not going to stop abruptly, just slowly. So now from here, let's come around and use our stool. We're going to do a little bit of a standing stretch through the legs. So you're going to take your chair, and you don't have to move it, but you want to be able to see. We're going to take it in front, and you want to take a nice little step back. First of all, let's give a nice little release through the back of the legs and the hips. You want to make sure, I know that some people don't feel comfortable leaning into their wrists, but you can put a cushion there, and if maybe your seat is a little bit softer. So we're bringing our feet a little bit back, and also you might feel you're a little bit forward. You might feel you have to bend your knees. We're going to draw, even if your knees are bent, try to relax your heels. You don't have to press them into the floor, but just feel that they elongate backwards. We're going to just draw the tail back. I'm going to do this with a little bit of a bent knee first. We're drawing the tail back. We create a crease in the hips, and we feel that separation and length through the upper legs here, right? So we have our sits bones, breathing wide, and you're lifting your sits bones, but really mostly think of the expansion through the sits bones right underneath them in the very high hamstrings. So that's how we're going to lift our sits bones. We're going to breathe wide through the upper back legs, and that gives us a sense of release. Now, if you feel comfortable, you can hang a little bit here. So feel that you're breathing through the high back hamstrings here, and just trying to relax your shoulders, relax your head. You can let your head hang all the way down if it's too much to hold it, but feel that you're hanging your spine from your pelvis. So you just get a nice soft release. And of course, you don't have to hold this. You're breathing and coaxing with your breath. Your breath allows your body to become more supple so that you can continuously work to release and elongate. Now, to come up out of this, we're going to lift the belly up. Take an inhale and scoop your inside tummy up a little bit. You're going to help yourself come up onto your hands. And now we're going to stretch through the arms, and the shoulders are over our wrists. I'm going to turn my hands out a little bit so my fingertips drape along the outsides of the seat. Now from here, we're going to try this with straight legs. You can do bent knees again. We're going to step back a little bit, and we're just going to find that softness in our heels, relaxing. The tail of the spine draws back over the heels, and we just kind of breathe into that release. The shoulder blades let go. If you feel okay, just let your arms go forward and find that sense of breath through the back of the legs, and let your spine hang and slope away from that lifted tail. So we're feeling that the heels are nice and long and released so that we can expand through the upper hamstrings. And we're going to, again, lift your belly to come out of this. The belly has to lift up to help your body come up so that you don't, you want to engage to change your position. Now from here, we're going to step the feet a little bit more forward. Shoulders are over wrists again. I'm hanging my fingers over the side. We're just going to take one foot back, take your right foot back behind you, bend your front knee, drop that back heel down, and we're going to just bend that back knee a little bit, and then stretch it, feel the heel lengthen, and then again. So we get a nice calf release here. When we bend our knee, we get that release a little bit lower into the soleus and the Achilles, and then stretch. We're going to use the tummy scooping to bring that foot back in. Other foot goes back. Feel that your whole foot is expanding and breathing into the floor. Relax and elongate through that heel. A little bit of a soft knee. I'm not trying to dip my knee down, right? So there's not an intention to dip the knee down. You just let the knee soften to release your ankle and your heel, your Achilles area, into your soleus. And then feel that expansion through the foot as you elongate through the heel. We'll do that one more time. You might notice that your arches and the ball of your foot starts to tense up a little bit. So this is a good way to kind of teach your foot not to grab there. And then we're going to stretch. We're going to come back in. Now from here, you can hold on with the seat if you really need to. But now from here, we're going to separate our feet about hip width apart, a little bit wider than hip width. And we're just going to hang. I'm really curling my tail under here. I'm not trying to pitch like this, right? So this is going to cause a lot more tension. This shape here, and it's not even just the tailbone, it's the lumbar spine. I'm hanging into the lumbar. Feel that your lumbar spine, you're in your heels, your arms are draping. So we're kind of like a nice orangutan monkey here, breathing and releasing through the upper back. We're going to take our hands to the upper outside knees into the quad area, so above the knees. Feel that you're connecting from your pelvis and your abdomen. We're going to circle in, around, massaging around the perimeters of the feet and up. Feel that lift inside. So we're thinking of this as pelvic hip circles, not knee circles. Yes, we see the knees and the legs unraveling, but we're not initiating through the knees. We don't want to add pressure into that force of the knee. We want to actually lift up. We're opposing inside. And if you do that, lifting up, even if your circle is really small, you'll start to build a little bit more awareness dynamically into your hips, into your knees. Now, let's take this in reverse. Lift up, let your breath help you gather your body, and then in and around. Your breath gathers you to go and around and through. The breath brings you up and around and through. Now we're going to walk our feet all the way together. Knees are going to touch, heels are going to touch. Again, here, from the pelvis, from the hips, we're going to go around one way. Our hands are here to keep that sort of resistance and awareness through the outsides of the legs. So we're not going really low. We're not adding pressure into the knees. We're practicing controlling and giving ourselves a sense of balance, right? So of course, we might be challenged to release off to the side. We're going to reverse this. Breathing through the pelvis. You feel the glutes and the hips here. Everything is engaging around up here to move your knees. So we're letting that suppleness through the knees and the ankles come through. Now from here, if you're comfortable, we're just going to relax. You can separate your feet a little bit, hang over your legs. Give your legs a nice little good shake out here. So, and again, your chair is here. If you need to hang and be on your chair, your stool, you can do that. So we're just relaxing and breathing. We're going to bend the right knee, hang the body over the right knee, and just feel a shift in your hip on that straight leg heel, sits bone to heel there. And then we're going to change to the other side. So you bend your left knee, you let your body shift over that leg, and feel that your weight shifts from your hip down to your heel on the straight leg side. And then again, bending the right, exhale, shift into the left. And release. Bending the left, and exhale, shift into the right. Now we're going to come back through center. If you feel comfortable, feel that your tail hangs over your heels in a nice plumb line. You're going to hold onto the elbows and just breathe into this release through the upper back neck. There's a little bit of a calibration happening here in your balance probably. So if you feel comfortable, release into your heels. Try not to pull back against it. Just let your body find a nice release hanging over here. Now we're going to feel the breath through the abdomen. The upper abdomen lifts up to the ceiling. We let go of the elbows. We're going to do a really good roll up. Keep your chin into your chest. Not even into your chest. Feel that you're holding a pencil under your chin. That little tiny pencil you're holding, and you're not going to let go of it. And even as we get almost up to the top, we're holding that pencil to elongate from tail all the way up through the chest. Now, so feeling, you get a really nice massage rolling through the cervical spine with that. You can practice that. Let's practice that maybe going down. We're going to hold the pencil under our chin. And I think that pencil or a pen or whatever, that's a really, really good image here. We're going to gather that so we can articulate, rolling down. We're only going to roll down about halfway, keeping that pencil under your chin. And we're going to let the sternum soften. You can soften your knees if you want to. Just go about halfway until the bottom of your ribs. So you're just hanging down, tails towards your heels. Now draw your tail down into your heels. Hold that pencil under your chin and keep drawing your tail down and really grab that pencil. Keep holding it, holding it, holding it, especially as you get up through the top. And now, as we come up through the top, we're just going to take the hands, we're going to touch with our fingertips into the low belly here. We're going to take a nice sipping breath through the mouth, sipping through the midline. You can do this seated into your chair again if you want to, but since we're already seated, I'm going to stand. So we want to sip from the heels, pulling up through the center. The breath is engaging us inside. Hold it there. We're going to gently bend the knees a little bit as we exhale. Exhale, but feel this space. Keep the distance. Softly lengthen the legs. Push down through the heels to feel the breath come in and up again, sipping. Right under your fingertips, we're gathering in the body to lift up and engage. We're going to exhale, keep this engagement. One more time, sipping in and up. Suspend it, deepen it. Especially on your exhale, try to go a little bit deeper into your body, into your engagement. Let the arms hang. Sip and float the arms around the sides and up. And exhale, softening the knees and elbows forward and down. And again, sipping through the midline, up. Long tail, long through your heels, down and out behind you, and exhale. One more time, sipping in and up through the midline. From your heels, all the way through and up. And exhale, suspending through the center. Now from here, we're going to end with a standing motion, same like we did seated today, a little bit different. Instead of interlacing our hands, you're going to turn your palms and grab hold of your left wrist and just draw through that midline energy. Inhale, coming up. Elbows are wide, shoulders are nice and wide. We're going to make a circle again. We do a nice little side bend over. Now we're going to curl our tail under. We round the low back and soften the knees to breathe into the upper back ribs. Inhale, your tail goes down. Breathe through the side ribs to come up. And exhale, side. and round under to come forward. So you're getting all those little crevices around the vertebrae open. And inhale up. And exhale over. And your tail sweeps under. Inhale, side. Through the side ribs, soft elbows up. One more time, exhale. And feel that connection inside. And you're just releasing and opening through the outside. And up. Now we're going to come through center. Breathe through the midline. Find that midline energy to release the arms open, floating them around and down. We're going to let the breath come in. Take your other wrist. Breath, that midline energy, brings the arms through and up. Elbows are wide. Soften your shoulder blades. We're going to go the other way. Exhale. That little sweep under through the tail brings your sternum to soften and arms forward. Inhale, find your long tail down to come up. Relax the shoulders and let that breath open your chest wide. And exhale over. And again, it's your pelvis. Your tail sweeps under. And inhale, long tail down to bring you up. And exhale over. And tail sweeps under. As the breath comes in, feel your tail elongate down through the floor. And up, wide elbows. Feel that breath in the front of your chest open. Exhale, side. And we sweep under. Last one. Inhale through the side ribs. Long tail down, and we're coming up. Feel that openness wide in the sternum. We're going to exhale, find your tail. Feel the breath and that openness right up into the top of the chest here. Your solar plexus at the bottom of the ribs is expanding wide, finding that sense of your center, the midline. It's not hard, it's nice and supple, right? So we feel a sense of center in our body. We're going to breathe through that line to release the arms out, opening through the center midline to release the arms all the way around and down, and letting them hang and just let the breath come in. We're going to roll through the shoulders. The breath brings you up. So now we're going to, as we go through the month, we're going to expand on this idea of taking it from a seated to a standing position and feeling how do we connect through the center of our body, which enables us to always come back into balance, right? So we're not holding a sense of balance, but we feel that we're supple through our movement, and that increases our awareness in catching ourselves off or on balance, right? So whatever you want, whatever your intention is, like if something throws us off and we almost fall, that would be challenging our balance big time. But, like a dancer would refine this and use this as a tool to constantly move through. So, but it also feels really good. So this is a nice way to kind of release and open things. And if anybody has any special requests throughout the month, please let me know. And have a lovely week, everybody. I will be back again next Wednesday at 12 o'clock. And maybe my assistant Belle will be joining next week. I don't know where she is. We basically had like a 4-day hurricane, so I think she's still recovering. I don't know. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.